How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to SeaBed, where we're really winding down, it feels like. We've seen Sachiko grow, we've seen her kind of mind expand, we've seen some inner workings of her mind, and we kind of figured out now that the Takako that we've been working with is kind of her precious memory of Takako, the thing that she held on to when Takako passed, because that's the idea that you don't truly die until those who you knew forget you. She kind of took that to heart and built her a place in her brain for her to exist, which is why she was seeing her all the time. Yeah, so not great. Just not ideal. 1 second. Is that microphone working okay? Oh, that might have been it. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that was any better. I think someone messed with my microphone setup a bit. Hello. Yeah, okay. I'll try that. Worst case scenario. Anyway, just messing with my microphone a bit. So, we're here, near and dear to our hearts. We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna see how things go. I feel like it's gonna be really sad, but it seems like Sachiko and Takako are going to be able to talk on this phone for a little bit. Now, I think technically Sachiko's time, we've seen her timeline extend ahead a little bit, because I think this is the phone call before she left and got on the train. But when she got on the train, she felt like she was leaving something behind and started crying. I think it was this conversation. So, let's begin. I finished my conversation with Narasaki, sat down on the stool by the phone to catch my breath. After a couple of minutes, I stood up and was about to head up the spiral staircase when the phone started ringing again. I thought it was either Narasaki, having forgotten to tell me something, or some actual hotel business this time. After a few moments of hesitation, I picked up the receiver. Hello? Oh, hello! It wasn't Narasaki's voice who reached me from the other end of the line. It was an even more familiar one, a voice I'd listened to for most of my life. Oh, man. Takako? Oh my gosh! That picture! It's been a while, Sachi. The abruptness of her call rendered my mind completely blank. It was most likely another one of my hallucinations, but there was something different about this one. Up until now, my head would always cloud over whenever Takako appeared, making me go through the motions as though in a lucid dream. This time, however, I felt no different from usual. My mind was serene as a lake. I could hear her voice clearly through the receiver. Where are you calling me from? A sanatorium. A sanatorium? Yeah, I've been kind of having trouble remembering things lately. I always knew you were just one step away from dementia. Maybe I was. Huh? Are you serious? I heard Takako's chuckle on the other end of the line. Well, it's not like forgetting things is anything new to you. Remember the time you mixed up your shoes back in school? No, that was Sachiko. I do. I accidentally put my friend's shoes after the class in the AV room. That's still within the scope of reason, but after that you forgot to change them before leaving school and only realized what you were wearing when you got home. Yeah, I probably changed into sandals and went outside to hang out with you, but then my sister panicked when she got home and found unfamiliar shoes with someone else's name in the lobby, and the neighbors called the police. I was in for a shock when I got home and found the police car in my front of my house. I had to explain the situation to the policeman who was checking my room for signs of burglary, gave me such an exasperated look, there's no way I'd forget it until I die. Your memory's pretty bad, even back in those days. That old episode made me smile naturally. Made a smile naturally form on my lips. That's not entirely right. When I was younger, I just get easily obsessed with one thing or another and forget about everything else. That was true, but it didn't change the fact that she was one among the most forgetful people I'd met in my life. That said, there was little point in pursuing the subject any further at this point. A sanatorium sounds A sanatorium sounds so not like you. Aren't you bored there? I'm not. If anything, this place is unlike any other. I'm free to do almost anything I want, so I'm actually having loads of fun here. And how do you feel? Not bad. I see. We both fell silent for a moment. I realized I kept asking questions without giving Takako a chance to speak up. So this time I paused and waited for Takako. I heard her voice again just before the silence could grow awkward. I was forgetful. I admit that. But that's why you were always such a lifesaver for me. You diligently remembered things in my stead. My lips unconsciously formed into a smile again. Well, as long as you understand. Where are you now, Sachi? I'm staying at a friend's mansion to recuperate. Recuperate? Are you also sick? I contemplated explaining everything that happened to me thus far. However, I couldn't find the right words. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. I would have taken a long time to explain, and I wanted to speak to her about other things. I see, she said. How are you doing? How are you doing lately? She added after a pause. I've wanted to talk to you for the longest time. Oh no, don't do this to me, game. Me too. I wanted to see you. Well, we then talked about our past. About the trips we took together, the island in the far south, the countries in the west, our experiences on the long bridge. No, god darn it. We discussed everything, from our days in kindergarten to when we quit our jobs and went independent. There were a few details I forgot, but Takako filled in the blanks for me, and I did the same for her. I closed my eyes and gazed at the lucid memory on my back of my eyelids. Those days came back to me, and were now about to disappear again. After we finished talking about the time we stuck into the pool at night, Takako said that her coins were about to run out. She was on her last one. I slowly opened my eyes. Those were happy days. Not were. We still had plenty more ahead of us. I heard Takako's whisper my name under her breath before falling silent. I whispered her name too. I suppose this is goodbye. Yeah. No, sorry, flipped around. I suppose this is goodbye. Yeah. Goodbye, Sachi. I listened to the beeping sound for a while. I placed the receiver back into its place with a loud clang. Such a simple conversation. I hated those long goodbyes, or not so long goodbyes. I don't know. I'm just lucky. I'm lucky that I haven't experienced a lot of death. I've only the only close family member I lost is my great-grandmother. So I'll have a lot more of that to deal with in the future. Hopefully I'll be okay. Anyway, looks like Sachiko's gone back. I listened to the sound of our printer working quietly in the background. Suddenly, I let out an electric beep before stopping completely motionless. Oh, it stopped, Fumi said in front of the machine. Inukai, this thing swallowed my papers again. Fumi turned to Inukai, who was working at his desk. He silently stood up and walked over to the printer and knelt down in front of it to open its tray. Man, it's been a while since we've seen these guys. I thought it was a steal when we got it at the neighboring office for almost nothing. It keeps getting stuck all the time. To be honest, you really should know how to fix this by yourself. Inukai removed the cover from the back of the machine and pulled out a crumpled piece of paper. He pushed the button and the clam printing noise resumed. The calm printing noise. I don't want to get my hands dirty. Inukai glanced at his fingers, now covered in cyan-colored dye. What? Frowning, he pulled out a handkerchief from his back pocket and began wiping off his fingers. The handkerchief had a picture of a cute sheep on it. You can endure that much, can't you? It still beats going next door to beg every time you need to print something. Oh, sorry, that's what you say. You can endure that much, can't you? Still beats going next door to beg every time you need to print something. Okay, fine. There's a knock on the door as Inukai returned to his seat. Excuse me. The windows of our beige-colored door tumbled in response to the knock. Yes? Yes. Fumio moved closer to see what was going on. I paused and shifted my gaze to the door. I'm sorry for the intrusion, but I was wondering if Miss Mizuno was currently present. Fumio was speaking to someone on the other side of the door. Yes, just give me a moment. I made out a long-haired, familiar-looking woman standing at the door. Oh, hello! I thought so! Nanae, a massive Boston bag at her feet, waved at me as our eyes met. Hey there! I came over to hang out. Dang. Oh, was she invited, or did she invite herself? Oh, Takako. Takako put the receiver down and watched the phone in silence for a while before turning around to face me. She sounded like she was doing even better than I thought, she said with a broad smile. The light from the stained glass window had moved deeper into the room. After a few moments of silence, Takako parted her lips again. The last time I saw her was when we were in bed together. I have no recollection of waking up the next morning. Is this a dream? Or is the world after death? I remember that night very well. Takako suffered from a very complicated disease and spent months in the hospital bed, but after it became clear there was nothing that could be done to cure her, Sachiko brought her back home. Takako passed away about a month after that. Sachiko nursed Takako during that entire time. As her condition grew worse, she kept thrashing in her bed at nights. Every time that happened, Sachiko would administer her the sedative she got at the hospital to make her sleep. The pain and her fever rarely allowed Takako to remain conscious, but during the brief moments of awareness, she'd always say Sachiko's name. Can you imagine? God. And Sachiko would always answer her. 2 days before her death, Takako regained consciousness for slightly longer than usual and spent a brief time talking with Sachiko. They went over random episodes ranging from their childhood to their adult life, the fun that they had together, what they felt and thought at the time. They discussed every single thing with no reservations, down to the tiniest detail. You know, it's funny. So a lot of these flashbacks we've been reading about have been probably a part of that, in a sense. There's something I thought about that I didn't mention before. Do you remember the museum with art that we went to? Remember that it had the clover picture, and I recall saying it sounded very similar to the one that she had given her as a child. But now we know that this is a dream world. The museum was Sachiko's museum of memories of Takako and her art. You know, the gifts that she would given. Like, something I didn't really have enough information to know, but it really kind of touched me later on. Like, I was like, wow, that's what that was. Once they finished, Takako gave Sachiko a long, passionate hug and said goodbye. At this point, that episode remained only in my memories. I guess you can think of it like that, but it doesn't really matter. Whether this is a dream or anything else, you exist here all the same. And that was of the utmost importance to Sachiko. I stuck my hands into my coat pockets. The lobby had grown chilly as the sun began to set. It doesn't look like I've got much time. Is there anything else you want to know? Of course. There's a whole lot of things I don't understand. There's a thing or two I still don't understand myself, but I guess I can share with you what I do know. So, if I could speak with Sachiko, could I also meet her somehow? Your memories have returned. You should know what happened. Then, how come I could speak to her through that phone? This was a special occasion. There's a way to connect both worlds, but it's not good for Sachiko herself. Normal people don't talk to voices in their head. I say it's about time to put an end to it. Takako said nothing and shifted her gaze toward the ceiling. Then, tell me about yourself. You sent me Sachiko's diary and explained how my illness worked, so I assume it had no coincidence you handed me those keys either. What exactly are you trying to accomplish? That wasn't a bad question. My objective was to recover Takako's memories. Or in other words, to combine the scattered and chaotic remnants of Sachiko's memories of Takako into one continuous fold. I would have handed Takako the keys if the diary was the only thing that kept her memories together. And I couldn't have been so sure that she would be able to return from that cave, much less with her memories recovered once I did. But she ended up living up to my expectations and beyond. It was all to treat the memory illness. But why would you go so far to do it? Because that's my role. Takako dropped her shoulders with a puzzled look on her face. I glanced at the clock while she was still thinking about her next question. The old man I met at the cafe the other day said it would rain tonight. He said he could tell it from how the clouds moved across the sea. I tried checking the sky afterwards myself, but it didn't make much sense to me. I guided Takako toward the main subject. Do you think you could do a favor for me? Takako returned her gaze to me. Of course. You have no idea how grateful I am for everything you did today. I'm glad to hear that. Anyway, I want you to write your diary in the notebook I sent you if possible. I'm already writing in my own notebook, Takako said with a puzzled expression. I want the diary in Sachiko's notebook to be a little different. It should be a special diary, I guess. I'd like you to write about things from a broader perspective, not just things that pertain to you personally. Could you be more specific? Like, when are the special events in the sanatorium? I imagine you'll all be going to visit the shrines at the start of the year. I'd like you to make a record of what other people there have said or done. It should be something fun, if possible. Naturally, you don't need to write this diary every day. How often do you want me to write, then? A couple of times a year would be just fine. That sounds easy. What's the point of it, though? It'll help block the memory illness from advancing. Is the diary I'm writing not enough for that? Unfortunately. It's not perfect, and you'll still end up forgetting things here and there. You said I should take good care of that notebook when we spoke in the night duty room. Is it, special in some way? That notebook is an embodiment of memories. What do you mean? I mean it literally. Your notebook, as well as the ones belonging to the other patients in here, have the same function. That's why they're so important. There were a few pages torn out from that notebook. Do you know why? I shrugged. Takako slightly cocked her head to the side. Why would anyone tear up something that important? She asked. I stood up from the stool and straightened my jacket. Why are you going? Why don't you spend the night here? We have more than enough empty rooms. I have a hotel room booked. Besides, there's still something I need to do. I see. Takako followed me out to my car. She kept her arms crossed, seemingly deep in thought. She finally spoke up when I opened the car door. Narasaki. What is it? You said our notebooks are essential for our memories. So what about the one you sent? Who knows? It's not yours, is it? You have an active imagination. Then again, that's hardly surprising in your line of work. I climbed into the car and leaned back in the seat. Will you come visit some other time? There's still a lot of things I'd like to ask you. I'll make sure to drop by if I get the chance, I said before closing the door. I fastened my seatbelt and ignited the engine. Takako followed my car up the road beyond the sanatorium gates. She kept waving at me until she disappeared from my rearview mirror. Fetch. I checked in right before lockup time and crashed into bed as soon as I entered my room. I ended up sleeping until noon the next day. I woke up at one point at my usual time and thought about going to get breakfast, but ended up changing my mind and instead fell back to sleep. I had nothing to do in the morning anyway. After all, I'd already finished most of my work. When I opened my eyes, it was already past noon. I slowly climbed out of bed, got dressed, and left the hotel. I spotted a restaurant designed like a ship and made my way through the shopping district. I decided to drop in and have lunch there. I killed some time by reading the newspapers and listening to the radio. A young man in a suit and a middle-aged man wearing a knit cap entered the restaurant during that period. The young man finished his lunch he ordered and promptly left the restaurant. As for the man with the knit cap, he spent the afternoon reading a newspaper, leaving only when the sun began to set. When I was the only customer left, I spent some time having small talk with the waiter. So what is she doing? After hearing the same story about fishing grounds I'd heard from Takako the previous day, I finally left the restaurant myself, pocketing a box of matches they were handing out as an advertisement on my way out. I continued in the direction of the sea. As I walked along the long breakwater, I spotted some stairs leading down to the beach. A bit of sand found its way into my shoes as I got down, but I didn't mind. Kitty. My cat's meowing. Alright, I'll go get him. Hello! He's so cute. Can I say hi to everyone? Just for a second. Hello! He said hi before. This is Prince. Look at the camera, Prince. He's wild. Look, over here. See? There he is. Alright, down you go. Oh. I spotted something shining in the sand. Picking it up, I realized it was the sea glass Takako showed me earlier. I looked around to find some other beads, green and blue, scattered all across the beach. Some of them had yet to get their edges fully tipped away by the sea. I picked one bead up and held it against the sun. It lit up in red. I felt like it'd be a waste to throw it away, so I slid it in my pocket. I walked along the beach until I reached the driftwood I'd previously only seen in the far distance when I began my journey. I glanced back at town. The steps I took to the beach now looked tiny in the distance. Oh, ow. It shocked me. I spent some time looking at the mountain, but I couldn't find the sanatorium. Aww. I lowered myself into the driftwood and watched the orange sunset for a while, giving my exhausted legs some time to rest. She's been working hard, walking around, talking to everyone. I prodded the sand with my heels, absent-mindedly digging a hole underneath myself. I pulled out the file from my bag and removed a couple papers from it. It was the medical record I pocketed at the consultation room, along with a few pages that were torn from the notebook Takako mentioned. I removed the pages from the medical record with a paper cutting knife I'd found at the hotel. I ran my eyes over all of them one last time. The first page had the date written in a child's hand. Though it looked like a diary, the notebook went into detail about an illness and its treatment. It was a record of the first time I played doctor with Sachiko back in kindergarten. Below the text, there was a crayon picture of Narasaki investigating Takako's belly. Looking at it always made me remember the good old days. I couldn't help but smile. I pulled out a matchbox from my pocket and lit up a match. The flame was quickly extinguished by the wind, but I managed to successfully light another one. Oh no, she's going to do what I think she's doing, huh? I guided the little flame to the page. It spread against the white surface, burning the words in the picture. When it became too hot to hold, I let it fall to the hole I dug earlier. I burned one page after another. When I had only 2 pages left, I realized my hand had gotten transparent. She's deleting herself. It looked exactly like what happened to my friends back at the clinic, the orange light of the sun illuminating me like it did the sea glass mere moments before. I looked at my old friends in the picture that Takako said was empty. I remembered how she asked me what I was trying to do as I burned the last page. The only thing written on it was a phrase, "I'm sorry." It was the last thing Sachiko said to Takako, as well as one of the parts of her that I erased. I crossed my arms and watched the remnants of the pages burn inside the hole. When everything turned to ash, I could feel myself getting lighter. I wasn't sure if my body or my mind, but it definitely felt as bad as I thought it would. But it didn't feel as bad as I thought it would. After confirming that every page was burned beyond recognition, I threw the rest of the files in my bag into the campfire I'd made in the sand. I watched as the flames swallowed all the documents and pictures attached to them. I stuck my hands in my pockets to realize I had sea glass in both of them. I took them out and compared one I got from Takako to the one I had found. The things sparkled in red, yellow, and blue, imitating the sand below them. As the fire continued to soundlessly burn, I began to feel slightly lightheaded, almost as if I was somewhat tipsy. As an experiment, I tried remembering something old from the clinic. There was a little Sachiko, a rabbit, and a bear in the room. Sachiko was drawing a picture of everyone. Back in those days, Takako often came over to play as well. Although I could remember the rabbit and the bear, their names eluded me. That made me feel a bit sad. I lay down in the driftwood in case I might end up losing consciousness. As if to follow my course of the setting sun, I sluggishly began closing my eyelids and tried thinking about something pleasant. After a while, I lost the sensation of my body. Goodbye, Narasaki. Hibiki. Oh, she's not gone, is she? Huh. A voice reverberated in my head like a bubble rising from the ocean. I can't sleep. I heard the sound of the rustling clothes along with young Sachiko's voice. You'll fall asleep sooner or later if you keep your eyes closed. It's boring to stay still. Just pretend you're fishing. I've never fished in my life. Try imagining you're floating in the middle of a sea under the moonlight. How far is that from the land? Very far. But you won't sink, so you have nothing to worry about. And what then? I floated in the middle of the ocean, swaying in the waves like a fishing rod stirring as he watched the night sky. The sky above was without clouds, allowing a clear view of the moon and the stars. The calm water reflected the stars, making me feel almost like I was floating in outer space. What then? Then you can watch the stars. Huh? That's it? If I do that for long enough, the large fish will eventually rise from the depths and swim by my back over and over again. Then she'll open its big mouth and swallow me whole. And at that point, you'll already be asleep. After a few moments, the characteristically rhythmic breathing of undisturbed sleep reached my ears. The calm waves caressed my cheeks as I floated in the darkness. I could already feel the presence of a big fish underneath me. It was then swallowed by the waves. I started to feel cold as I descended into the bottomless void. I could no longer move. I felt neither my eyes nor my fingers. I simply kept sinking deeper and deeper. I was going down to the very bottom. Hibiki. I opened my eyes, reacting to the small, high-pitched voice. The dark waves drew away from me, and before I knew it, I was back on the beach again. A small girl ran toward me. Seizing my shoulders, she lifted my upper body up from the driftwood. Oh my gosh, is that... Okay. Kozua, but with dark hair. Likes to read. Quiet. So she was a facsimile of Sachiko the whole time, the young Sachiko. And she's even got the clover pin that Takako gave. What is happening? I don't even know what's happening. I finally found you. The young Sachiko is looking straight at me. What are you doing here? I was looking for you. Takako told me everything. I see. My head hurt a little as I turned my neck. That's because you slept in a weird place like this, said Sachiko upon noticing me wince. Sachiko took my hand as I stood up and brushed the sand off my hair and my clothes. It'll be dark soon. We've got to hurry, she said. I shook my still drowsy head and looked at her. She pulled me forward. I guess. Let's go. Oh. What kind of patient did you cure this time? Oh, I'll tell you when we get back to the clinic. We should grab something to eat on our way back. That sounds good. I'd like some crepes. You okay with the usual stand by the station? Of course. Let's go then. Yes. So maybe she's not gone. Maybe there's a tiny piece of her that's going to stay there. Oh, hello, Nanae. I'm not bothering you, am I? Tell me if I am. I'll go straight back to the hotel right away. Nanae fixed her slightly disheveled hair with one hand as she sat on the sofa in the reception room. Fumi brought a tray of the tea snacks and began lining them up on the table. She made a friendly smile when Nanae greeted her, then returned to the office. Was that Miss Fumi? She cast a wary look at the door through which Fumi left. I nodded. I said I had time on the weekends, but I didn't expect you to come so early. Your office was next to the station, so I figured I'd drop by on my way to the hotel. I wanted to see where you work. I would have come to meet you if you'd told me. Nah, I already feel plenty awkward for bothering you at work. Oh, this is Monica, right? Isn't it? This is Monica. Monica. Not Monica, sorry. I don't know why. I've got DDLC on my mind. And with a rice cake, too. I love these things. Nanae tore the wrapping off one of the snacks Fumi brought and began happily chewing on it. As she finished one, she began opening another. Her eyes wandered to the poster on the wall opposite her. Did you draw that? Yes. The other one was done by one of my coworkers, though. Are those your posters, too? Can I have a look? She pointed at the rolled-up poster lying on the cabinet. If you want to. Whoa! Some of these are pretty darn cool! I really like this one. She showed me a blue poster with dolphins and coral reefs in the background. How long does it take to make one? About a week. I see. Your job sounds kind of hard. I can't deny that, but I like it. Ever since I was little, I've never been good at art. I liked to draw, but it always looked like crap. Destroy my life. So I felt kind of overwhelming to see people who could actually draw and create something of actual worth. Only a handful of these things are really worth anything, though. Really? For example? I'm not sure, but in my case, only the time I spent with her remains forever ingrained in my mind. It fills me with strength, no matter how tough things get. It helps me find the correct path in my life, so next time I'd want to convey those feelings, I'd be the one to support someone else. I see. Nana pulled out a few pamphlets from her bag. Many of them had scenic pictures, the kind you'd usually see in the tourism agencies. Hey, I've never really been here before, so do you think we could show me around a bit over the weekend? I picked up one of the pamphlets and briefly inspected it. I doubt you'll have time for everything listed in here. What would you recommend then? How about this? Mixed in with all the pamphlets describing local areas, there's one with overseas destinations. I'm going overseas again next week to pick up some new furniture. A cruise along the Mediterranean Sea? How long of a trip were we talking about? Should take about a month, I'd say. And what about with your inn? It's not like we get many guests anyway. I think you can handle it by yourself. How do they have money? Dang. Sachiko really sounds like she's pretty composed now. They actually gonna go? Doesn't look like a cruise ship. If I find an interesting postcard, I'll make sure to send it to you. Oh, she's just seeing her way. Oh, wait, maybe. I prefer something with beautiful scenery. I was just thinking about changing the postcards I framed above my sink. And this is Takako, by the way. The ship behind me sounded as I shook Sanae's hand. Oh, Takako saying goodbye to her. I guess. Well then, I'll see you sometime later, I guess. The clerk responsible for the gates urged me to board. I'm sorry. May you have a good trip. I handed him my ticket and ascended to the deck. Oh, so Takako's leaving. Oh, they're going on a trip together. The same Kazuha didn't see us off. I turned to Meiko, who stood by me on the ship. Well, it's not like we're going to be away for that long. I suppose so. We walked along the deck, watching the receding port down. Isn't that our sanatorium? I honestly doubt you can see it from here. No, that's definitely it. Look, there's the Rift building over there. I can't see anything. I'm pretty sure it's there. We should contact the others the night we come back and tell them to turn on all the lights. That way we'll be able to judge whether or not it's really there, I'm sure. I really doubt Kozo would be able to do all those stupid things like that. I I guess so. Still, this whole business about a trip came out of nowhere from you, said Miyako, holding down her hair. Hey, we made a promise, didn't we? What promise? A fierce wind blew across the deck, drowning out our voices. Don't think this will be the last place I'll take you. I almost can't wait. So wherever they are in her mind... Oh, fetch. That's disturbing. Sachiko, are you okay? Is it supposed to be flashing like that? That looks really scary. I kind of feel like it's not supposed to. The whole screen's flickering. Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be doing that. I'm gonna probably block it out because it's like just flickering like crazy. But I think that's it. That's the end. God, like someone's gonna have a seizure if they see this. So I'm definitely gonna be like, I might like find stills and try and like just hold it there for you guys so you can see them. But it's just, I can't believe it's here. It's over. Yeah, I'm not gonna look at that anymore because it's like, it's gonna break my brain. I don't know why it's freaking out like this. But man, what a beautiful story. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, it doesn't need to tell us anymore, but like, so Sachiko kind of regained her sanity and herself. Like, she was able to put aside some memories and trap in her heart the most important ones, and was able to finally like move forward with life. And Takako is simply a shadow living within Sachiko. A shadow that keeps her alive, that keeps her presence in this universe, locked away inside a little mind palace of her own. And she was leaking through, which was causing the disasters about her vision and the manifestations of Takako in her life, not letting her move forward. But Sachiko's moved on, and it looks like she and Nanae are like having a beginning of a healthy relationship. Who knows if that'll become a thing, but like it looks like they're approaching it in a much healthier way than they initially were trying to, like what Nanae was trying to go for. And Takako's happy. She's kind of moving on too in her own way. And then Narasaki, who turned out to be the hero, was just that tiny part. It's like she was the imaginary friend, kind of like in Inside Out. There's that like pink elephant guy who was like trying to help like Joy like keep everything together, and so it was like that childhood friend who was. Oh, okay, I'm gonna click real quick and see if that fixes it. Nope, it's just, if anything it's worse. If anything it's worse. It's flickering so bad. So you have these three parts of her mind, like the actual consciousness. You have the Takako memory, and you have the Narasaki best friend, who in the end really was the doctor that she needed. She gave her advice, she helped her like set up the appointment to go on a vacation, and helped her find peace of mind, and eventually shut down the barriers that were fusing the three worlds together. And perhaps she exists somewhere else too. The screen is just freaking me out. It's like trying to break my brain. That was very strange. I might do like a... Oh, tips! Inverse C, a holiday in the sanatorium has been unlocked. Ooh. Why not? Let's do it. Extra CGs have been added to the library. Nice. So, yeah, we'll do tip 4 real quick, and we'll jump right in, and then I guess I'll give my final thoughts there. Because, yeah, this will be a long episode, but it's okay. Hopefully. As long as no one wakes up. I already had some people wake up, and I had to go put them back to sleep, so it's been a long night for me, so... But, like, come on, we can't just not wrap it up right now. I don't think it's worth having another episode for this. Inverse C, holiday at the sanatorium. Let's do this. I switched the tongs to my left hand and brushed the sweat off my forehead with my right. So this is Takako. So we have Sanae. Narasaki? Is she there too? Yeah, that looks like Narasaki. Takako. The vast blue sea extended under the blue sky as far as the eye could see. I could feel the fierce sunlight and the heat the reddening charcoal against my skin. Is it working? Miyako took a peek inside the grill, so that was Miyako. Is it working? The charcoal's finally starting to glow, I said as I continued to fan the thing. There's Miyako. Or is that Sanae? I can't, they have similar hair color, but I think that's, Miyako. Do you want to try cooking something? Miyako picked up one of the boiled corns we brought with us. I think we need more charcoal. The last time we tried this, it went out right away. Is it really the charcoal to blame, though? There's Sanae. Sanae's grill is working just fine. Sanae decided to be our chef for the day and started cooking rice at the canteen a bit further away. Aw, this is really cute, by the way. They're all adorable. Huh? Seriously? I turned around, my eyes meeting Sanae's. Is something wrong? You're using the same charcoal as me, right? I think so. I took it from there. She pointed at the charcoal bag by the cooler box. That really is the same one. Then maybe the top's moist or something. Narasaki did the charcoal part for me, so maybe she knows how it works. Lighter fluid. When I returned to our bags to get some fresh charcoal and a fire starter, Narasaki and Kozawa passed by me. The former was pulling the hand of the latter. Where are you taking me? Seems like it's going to take some more time. Let's go find a quick swim in the meantime. I glanced over my shoulder and saw the table we asked Kozawa to handle has already been neatly set. The cups on the table even had our names on them. Oh, that's cool. You can go if you want. But it'd be nice if you could prepare kebabs while I try to figure out how to get the fire started. I took out a skewer from the cooling box and showed it to them. The meat and vegetables are with Miyako. Okay, fine, said Kozawa, taking a skewer from me. I asked Narasaki to help me with the grill. When Narasaki rearranged the charcoal, it lit up in seconds. Oh, so it just wasn't getting enough air. I see! So it's better to stack them vertically. Heat always rises up, so it's best to arrange the charcoals in a way that makes it easier for it to travel. If you do it well enough, you don't even need to fan it. You're pretty knowledgeable about this stuff. I read about it in some book. I lined up the charcoal so I could better control the flame, then put a wire gauze over the grill and tried grilling one piece of meat. I could hear it sizzle. Ooh! I let out an excited shout. I glanced at Miyako and Kozawa preparing their kebabs. The grill's ready! Miyako nodded. She and Kozawa brought over the skewers. Sanae approached us as well, eager to watch. Well, let's start cooking then. Hey, wait a second! While I was contemplating the best order to skewer the grills to order the skewers on the grill to get them evenly roasted, Kozawa began grilling her kebab by herself. What do you want? Just so you know, there's an unwritten rule in these parts that seniors get the first bite when the youngsters wait for their turn, so... Hey, are you even listening to me? Kozawa put another kebab on the grill while I was talking. I prepared one for everyone. This one's Miyako's, those are Narasaki's and Sanae's. This one's yours. Was it just gonna be meat? By the time she finished, 5 kebabs had already been placed on the grill. They all had bite-sized pieces of sweet pepper, shiitake mushroom, onion, chicken, and paprika skewered on them. They all seemed to follow the same order, looking pretty colorful and nice. Now we're talking, Narasaki exclaimed. Kozawa's kebabs, still on their wire gauze, looked and sounded amazing. Now I want to make kebabs. It's not the right season for them, though. Am I imagining this, or is there almost no meat on my kebab compared to the others? I put the same amount on all of them. Did you season them? Yes, with salt and pepper, said Miyako. Narasaki asked what everyone wanted to drink, then moved to the table and filled our cups before bringing them back to us. After confirming it was cooked just right, I picked up my kebab. I gave everyone an eye signal and raised a toast. I brought these kebabs purely on a whim during a shopping trip, but it turned out to be a good decision. They tasted really good. After finishing the first one, I started putting one ingredient after another on my skewer, pretty much randomly, eating as much as I could. The cheese fondant Miyako made was also delicious. Dang, kebabs, fondue. Out of nowhere, she placed some Camembert cheese on an aluminum foil and melted it above the grill. I figured it was safe to call my first barbecue party in a long while a resounding success. The meat's done! I'd long since lost count of how many plates I'd sent to the others. When I was about to offer Miyako another plate, she refused, claiming she'd already eaten more than enough. The plate in Sanae's hand still looked almost completely packed with food. Kozo refused to eat anything after filling herself with cheese fondant. Is fondant or fondue? It was already on her way to the beach in Nagasaki for another swim. She must have taken a liking to being pulled around on her floating ring. Probably, that sounds fun. I played with her too, but that ended up pulling her too far from the shore and we got swept away by a huge wave. Getting back to shore was quite the adventure. After that, she never really let me float her ring ever again. Well, I guess I'll just eat all the rest on my own then. I moved the onions and chicken to my own plate. Well, that was lovely. I got like a distortion sound for a second. But, dang. Aww. Oh, hey. Kitty. No nipping this. Oh, an inverse C. The sea where the sun sets in the east. That was short. Why not, right? I mean, is it appropriate YOLO time? We really are so close to the end. Ooh, hello. I ate too much. Got a little carried away this time. This feeling of bitter regret made me remember the few times I visited an all-you-can-eat restaurant. Seriously overestimating my poor stomach's capacity. Are you okay? Miyako brought me a drink. I'm feeling better. I took a sip from the water bottle she handed to me. I really was feeling better now, just like I'd said. Still, it didn't seem like I'd be able to do any swimming today. Where are the others? At the beach, playing. I glanced toward the shoal in the distance and could make out 3 figures playing volleyball on the beach, with what looked like my ball. They seem to be having fun. Miyako smiled. Too bad you can't join them, huh? I'm just glad I got to enjoy this at least. Coming to the sea this year was a good idea. I nodded in agreement. Overseas trips are great, but sometimes the coolest places can be found right under your nose. I spent a few minutes gazing at the sea with Miyako and slowly stood up. Where are you going? Just for a walk. I feel like it might help my stomach. Want to join me? I'll look after the bags here. Okay. Anyway, I'll be off then. I began walking towards the shoreline. The soothing sounds of the waves and the pleasantly light breeze made me forget the heaviness in my stomach. It didn't take long to reach the end of the small beach and was cut off by the protruding cape, forming a small cliff. The shallow reef at its bottom seemed to have continued all the way to the opposite shore. I looked behind me, but Miyako and the others were too far away for me to make out. Overtaken by a sudden adventurous impulse, I climbed down the little cliff and clambered down, continued to the shallow reef towards the other side. Sheesh. By yourself, going to a reef out of sight of the others. Terrible idea. But hey. My path grew wider the further I went. As I closed in on the cape, the waves began beating splashed against my face. I gazed at the sea from that position. There was not a single soul in sight. I braced myself for another splash in the face, but no other big waves seemed to be coming. The only thing caressing my cheeks was the calm sea breeze. Suddenly, I felt like I spotted someone on the other side of the cape. My heart skipped a beat when I saw the person in question. Sachiko? Yep. Is she older now, maybe? Her hair, her style seemed a little different. A moment later, the person had already vanished. I blinked a few times. That was very stylized, by the way. That was cool. Must have been my eyes playing tricks on me. After spending some more time gazing at the beautiful scenery, I decided to make my way to the others. Sachiko would eventually come here. And when she did, I had to be ready. Oh. Okay. So the sanatorium is effectively like the afterlife. And so eventually Sachiko will come. After all, she did this all for me. Or she goes crazy in the real world eventually. Aww. So that's really it? Oh, fetch. Here comes the... Oh, man. Yeah. What a freaking crazy game. Let's take a look at the gallery for a quick while I just talk about my feelings here. SeaBed is something else. I mean, that's kind of crazy how the background changes. I mean, this weird, crazy, wild, absolutely bananas trip. Do you remember how long I just was going and just had no clue what on earth was happening? I just was so flabbergasted by every twisted turn. I think it wasn't until like around here when we like got the memory where Sachiko saw like small Takako and then went through the cave. That was like the first time I finally feel like I kind of like understood what was happening. Oh, back then the furnace too. That's the thing. So with Nagasaki in the furnace, remember I thought she was burning something? It probably was the some of the memories from the notebook. Oh, interesting. So there's a couple CG. I can already see one CG that I never saw in the game right here. Because of by a pool. Like we never saw that. So there's some more. Just like concept art maybe? Like them walking to school. Nagasaki in the clinic. Yeah, these are just like higher definition. Or like this one, that's a transitional. Sachiko. Oh, that's glasses. That's Sanae. She does look a little older there, doesn't she? This is good to know because this was the ending that like you couldn't see over the credits. So I'll probably have recycled that. Like during my thing, when I was showing the credits, it was just flashing like a strobe light. It was awful. So I'll probably just repurpose this, what we just saw, over that. Just because it's a lot healthier to look at than what we were looking at. Now, here's the thing. I wonder if there were multiple endings to this game, you know? I doubt it, but it's possible. Oh, these are cool. Man, so much love went into this game. So much love. Like, I really wouldn't have guessed from the very beginning, like, based on what I was seeing, just how much care, attention to detail was in this story. Whew, that's a little risque. Beautiful, though. Absolutely beautiful. My gosh. Like all my visual novels, I'm really kind of sad this one's over. It'll allow me to move on to other things, and my Fridays are always crazy. So, like, we'll have something interesting to pull forward. For sure. Plus, like clockwork, I think they're spying on me. Fruitbat Factory so far. They always seem to know just when I'm finishing something, and then they send me something else. So, we'll see. I think they've been enjoying the time and attention I give to these series that they have. So, thank you once again, Fruitbat, for giving me this game and kind of introducing me to this experience. Like I said, this game might have consecutively made me cry almost more than any other one. Steins Gate's the only close runner-up, but even then, like, this one was just, it was so wholesome and so down to earth in a way. Like, it fills a spot in your heart that a lot of stories can't, because there's so much realism here. And, like, the slow build, like, it took forever to get to, but when it finally came, it hit like a train. It's another great example of like why visual novels are such great storytellers, because I don't know if we really could have had the same experience reading this in a book. I don't think we could have had a similar experience with this watching it as a movie or an anime. I think this really is a sensation and an experience that a visual novel is only really capable of capturing. Now, do I think this would make a good like anime? Absolutely. It would be a lot harder because like it'd be hard to keep everything a secret, really. But this is one of those ones that, like, it'd be kind of cool if it ever became something. I think, I'm a huge fan. I'll go think about this one for a while after this. I want to do a podcast about it. I don't know how many people will be there, but the few of you who have been watching this consecutively and like paying attention, not this Saturday because that's obviously like tomorrow, but I think next Saturday we'll be free. Let's go ahead and try and plan a live stream. So if you're watching this live, like hop on our Discord and message me. I'll put a post on an announcement board too, so people can know that the next Saturday and what Saturday, like the specific date. I'll put down like the announcement that it's going to be our SeaBed Rap podcast. So we'll just talk about it there, and I'd love to hear some of your guys' thoughts on it. I know you guys are seeing a lot of stuff I was missing, so maybe you can catch me up to date on the things that you've been dying to tell me. But I'm sad it's over. And I believe, like, you don't know, like, this is part of the story, you feel it yourself, but I believe Sachiko was happy in the end. Takako was too. But I think Sachiko, whether it was with Nanae or somebody else, I think she found something to keep living for. And that's what's really important. And, like, the thing I'm really thinking about right now, how Takako was like on the beach and she saw a flicker of, like, I kind of called an older Sachiko and knew that someday Sachiko would be there, would be there, and she had to be ready for her. I hope I remember these feelings when the time comes for me to experience like more personal loss, whether it be a parent or sibling or spouse, if someone passes before I do. And I hope that for you, like whoever you are who watches this, and have that similar idea. Like, that's what really touched me about this story, and why I'm so like right now. He's thinking about that. The power of enduring beyond whatever happens when we die. That we treasure up their memories and we keep them alive in that regard, at the very least. I hope I can remember, because I don't know this, but based on how tender and well communicated the story is, how genuine and flawed the love is between characters, I feel like the person who wrote the story probably went through something similar. I don't know if it was a significant other, a best friend, or a family member, but I feel like they had to go through this spiritual journey themselves, and they were able to take us along with them through this game. Because the biggest thing about Sachiko's grief was that, like, life goes on. You lose someone so important to you, and your entire world has to feel like it's ending, but you have to just go back to life right afterwards. And Sachiko kept her sanity by keeping Takako around, even though she was gone. And then the little part of her, Narasaki, helped her fix that. And she was able to finally find her way out of the grief and was able to move forward. And so I assume that that's what happened, as she kind of moved on and lived a good life. And I hope I can be half as strong as Sachiko turned out to be when the time comes. I'm never very honest about my fear for that. I might be a little backwards compared to some people, because I genuinely don't fear myself dying. I figure it'll be okay when the time comes. I just hope it's in a dignified way. And then I leave the world and my family better than I found them. But I'm not sure how strong I'm going to be when the time comes when I have to say goodbye to someone. When I have to be the one who has to get back to normal life without that person. whoever they are. But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I'm kind of tired right now, so I think I'm being a lot more emotional than I normally would be. But thank you for those who are sticking around to this bitter end. Who the game ended like 20 minutes ago. You're still sticking around, so thank you. I hope that we all can keep learning from visual novels and become better people through the stories we read, because that's really what it's all about. The reason why I love books, and the reason why even fiction, I want people should read books, they should listen to books, they should read visual novels. Because there can be, well, despite the fact that you can find smut, you can find just fan fiction, which, not just visual novels, I'm talking books and everything. You can find dollar store crap, you can find publicity stunts, but those gems you find change you as a person. Whether it's a tiny little bit or a lot, whether it's about the way you see the world, like Steins Gate did for me, or simply the way you think about death, like SeaBed did. The SeaBed makes me confront something I don't like to think about, and that's why it's so good. Because it does it in a way that's gentle, like getting a hug. It doesn't slap you in the face with death. It doesn't slap you in the face with loss. It escorts you through the pain of someone else and lets you kind of be there with them. So, sorry. I'm so stupid. Well, it's not really stupid, but it's not very dignified. Anyway, I'm gonna go think about this, and I hope you do too. Jot down some notes or something if you want to, and join me to either be on the podcast or listen to the podcast as I broadcast it. And let's just talk about this together and see what you guys think. I'll probably be less emotional, but thank you again. Thank you for the viewers and my subscribers, my lab members, my brothers, my sisters, whoever you are, for watching this. Thank you for spending the time with me, allowing me to kind of take you on this journey with, and to share your thoughts and feelings along the way. Thank you once again to Fruitbat for doing the translation and letting me have a copy, letting me know it existed, bringing me a part of this too. And thank you to the developers and creators. I'm sure you won't ever hear this, but your game did good. It did good. And it brought good to me. And I hope it brought good to others too. It was a work of the heart, and I can feel that. So thank you. And if you happen to know if someone's watching this who happens to know them, can you tell them that for me? Especially if they don't speak English. Let them know that at least for one person, I got it. I'm better because of it in my life. I'd love to thank them someday, along with the creators of all these other great books I get to read, these novels. Anyway, enough's enough. Thank you guys so much for being here. Look forward to some more. Next Friday is actually going to be a bit of a special one. I think it's going to be a one-shot wonder, but one of our fellow lab mems contacted me like 6 months ago. He had done a little pet project where he made a small visual novel of his own. I don't know who it was, I can't remember. I'll have to try to find his email. But he gave me a key to check it out because he wanted just to hear my thoughts on it. He didn't even say make a series on it. He just said, I'd love to hear what you think. And I'm absolutely going to make a series on it because that's the most important thing I think this channel can do. If it can help strengthen and embolden people to make these masterpieces, all power to you, man. So I'll read it, I'll comment on it. I might point out things that I don't like about it, but like that's the point. Like I'm not going to be like tearing it apart. It's going to be something from the heart. I want to be able to give my comments from the heart too, because we grow best when people are able to be honest. But anyway, it'll be a one-shot, and then we'll see where we go from there. We've got a lot of options. We've got a lot of places we can go that follow the category of what my Fridays tend to be, which is like less mainstream. Though it's gonna be tough. That line's gonna be tough to walk. Maybe Fruitbat Factory will interrupt me though and give me an idea of what to do next. Anyway, thank you guys for being here with me on this wonderful journey. Thank you so much for being a part of this and sticking with me to the end. It's wonderful to have you here, and I'm very grateful to the ends of the earth and back, because that's kind of where we got to go for this journey. So thank you, and until the next video you watch with me, whatever you have to see me in next, I'll see you there.